take a sip of water. Here we go again. Black people can't decide on what city and state they want to call Black Mecca. Straight up. Let me ask you a question before I begin. Straight up. Is there an Asia Mecca? An Asian Mecca? A European Mecca? I mean, I could go on with this. So the question is the next question is, why is it that we have to have a Black Mecca? I'm trying to understand that. Is it because we don't have a home? To go to? Well, part of the reason why we don't have a home to go to, or we don't have a place that we call home, is because the Black community decided that they are not African, that they were born in America, and that's what they're going to call themselves, an American. The minute that you said that is the minute that you severed ties with your home. For some of us, a vast majority of us, because I truly believe that some blacks were actually born here before the Europeans came here, or non-blacks, should I say. But I'm just trying to understand why we continually playing these musical chairs with this Black Mecca thing. Because every city that we go to, I'm just being real with you, it's like, how is that the Black Mecca? Like, prime example, the last place that we call Black Mecca was Atlanta. And I truly understand, yes, there were Black people that were successful down there. There were Black people that were homeowners, you know what I'm saying? Black businesses and the likes. Yeah, true indeed. If you look at Atlanta, you can see just how powerful Black people can be. But then on the other side, and that's what I'm talking about, when you look at the homelessness that's going on down there, AIDS cases, corrupt government, corrupt board of education, public school systems are horrible. Black on black crime, Black people killing one another at alarming rates down there. That's not the Black Mecca that I think about when I'm thinking about Black Mecca. So, Langston, how do you define Black Mecca, the term? How do you define it? I'll say this. Any place or anywhere where Black people are successful, are free to roam about and just be Black. We don't have to worry about, oh, well, if we come out the doors, whether you got dreadlocks in your hair, braids, beads, afro, you can wear whatever hairstyle you want to wear. You get to express yourself. You get to express your culture. You get to be you to the fullest and not be in an environment or area where your race is suppressed. That's what I call, or that's what I define as a Black Mecca, where there's ownership of the land that you call the Black Mecca, that you rest on. Where Black people empower one another. Where there's an area where we're community-based. And if one person is doing bad, we all are. That's not what I see. That's not what I saw when I moved down to Atlanta. And that's definitely not what I'm seeing while living in Charlotte. That plain and simple. In other words, what I'm trying to explain to you, there is no city or state in the United States that deserves that term, the Black Mecca. That plain and simple. I can give you, names of places that came close to it, like, the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street in Durham, North Carolina. Hayti area, Durham, North Carolina. Brooklyn and Charlotte, North Carolina. Harlem Renaissance, in Harlem. when the Harlem Renaissance existed, that was Harlem was close to being your Black Mecca. But when I see a Black Mecca, you know what I'm saying? I have to see us on the dollar bill. Our faces need to be on our currency. You know, I went to Nevis, you know, the West Indies, where my family is from, and they're saying, you know, they just they celebrated their independency. And I'm like, how are you celebrating your currency has Queen Elizabeth on it? That means that somebody is still in control of your country. You just don't realize it. That plain and simple. I don't think we'll ever see a Black Mecca in America. Ever. Ever. And that's real talk. Because I just think that just about every race knows where their real home is at. See, the Europeans, they come over here and they have children, and they, you know, they generation upon generations, you know what I'm saying, of you know, family. But they still know where they come from. They still practice their traditions and cultures and all the rest of that stuff. The Asians, you know what I'm saying, the Latinos, the list goes on, with the exception of Black people. We're steadily trying to find our home because we severed ties with Africa. Real talk. And we overall severed ties with our history. Because anybody with common sense, if you put two and two together, I mean, common sense would tell you, how in the world did these non-blacks bring over millions of Black people? You mean to tell me that everybody just got on a boat? Everybody. Nobody resisted. We just got on a boat and just said, here, go ahead and shackle us and leave. No, that's not what happened. We know that. We know that. Especially when you venture into Latin America, New Mexico, and you see these big stone heads called Olmecans with big fat noses, big lips. So you know we've been over here. There's no possible way that you can actually believe that non-blacks took millions of Black people and brought them over here. So since we don't know our history, since we severed our ties with Africa, because we ain't African, we were born in America, so we gonna call ourselves American. That's the reason why we don't have a home to go to. Plain and simple. We just jumping from one city and state to the next looking like fools. You want me to tell you what Black people really think Black Mecca is? And that's the truth. Where there's good jobs at for Black folks. Well, not even really Black folks, just people that are qualified for the job. What Black Mecca is? Oh, it's a place where non-blacks tolerate and put up with blacks. That's what Black Mecca is to Black people. Because, let me tell you something, ain't no non-black gonna allow a Black person to come in and take over their shit. So I don't even know why you saying, why Black people, a lot of these Black people saying it's Black Mecca. Whether it's Atlanta, Charlotte, Brooklyn, New York, or Harlem, the list goes on. You're not in control of anything. You don't own anything in America. If I'm not mistaken, the only Black owner of a professional basketball team, NBA, is Michael Jordan. He's about to sell off his majority of shares of the Charlotte Hornets. He's about to sell off his portion of the team that he owns. What what the hell do we own? All we do is run in the gerbil wheel. That's what we're good at. Running faster than everybody else in the gerbil wheel. That's it. Making other people money. People are profiting off of us and not the other way around. How many times have you known Asian patronize a black business? I'll wait unless they want some fried chicken or something like that. And you can't talk about the music because we don't even own our own music. We don't even own the lyrics, the words to our songs. The first thing we do when we sign a 360 deal, I say the first thing we do is that, and then the second thing we do is sign over our publishing. So you don't even own the music that you make. So you can't say that if an Asian buys a Nicki Minaj CD that they've patronized a black business, because Nicki Minaj is signed to someone that's non-black. We have no codes. That's the reason why we don't own anything. That's the reason why, we even if we wanted to have a Black Mecca here, we would never have it. Because we don't own anything. We don't run anything. We're not important. I'm being real with you. To the real world, we're not important. And the reason why we're not important, because we don't make ourselves important. We don't create a seat at the round table that everybody else is sitting at. That's real talk. And y'all have to excuse me, I'm just passionate. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm arguing and yelling at you. All this shit, I'm passionate about what I'm saying. Like it's ugly. It's ugly. Nobody comes to the black community for anything unless it's a vote. That's it. Popular vote. That's it. And once they got our vote, it's a wrap. You ain't seeing them in the next, 2 to 4 years. And that's real talk. Black Mecca. Charlotte is a diverse city. I like Charlotte. It's pretty decent. It's laid back. But is it my utopia when it comes to my blackness? Hell no. Does it cater towards black folks? No. It's not what the city is for. Matter of fact, I don't need any American city to cater towards me. What I need is for my people to get up off of their ass, as well as myself, and create something that has nothing to do with non-blacks. And own it. Hip hop was our outlet. It was our way out. And you know what we did? We sold our children out. When I was younger in the 90s, you had Calvin D. Butts and C. Dolores Tucker running a smear campaign when it came to hip hop. Instead of, you know what I'm saying, taking us under their wing and telling us, hey, listen, the rap lyrics, I'm just trying to understand why you use the B word and the N word and the this and the that. Trying to get into the hearts and the minds of the youth and trying to understand where we're coming from. They didn't do that. They tried their best to tear our culture apart. And you know what? This is crazy. So you tried to tear the artists apart. But when it came to the CEOs, the non-blacks that were printing and pressing up the CDs, that had the vulgar language on it, didn't say nothing to them. Because another thing is black people are weak. We ain't gonna never have nothing because we don't know what it's like to stand up against anyone. That's real talk. And you know who I'm talking about. When it's a real fight, I ain't talking about, oh man, I got beef with Langston. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pull up. Give me your location. Show me your location, Langston. I'm gonna pull up. Then, you know what I'm saying? Let's say, for example, you get the best of me. You going around telling everybody, bragging and shit. Oh yeah, you know, I had to rough up this person, this and that. Langston, you know what I'm saying? He running his mouth, da 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 da. But when that fight is irrelevant. That shouldn't even been a fight. Why do you want to harm me? What have I really done to you that affected your life? You know what I'm saying? But the bigger fight is when we fold. The biggest of the biggest and the tallest of the tallest, we fold. You ask the average NBA basketball player, and I do understand that they're, you know what I'm saying, signed to this contract and that contract and this and that and so forth. But you ask them one simple question like, yo, man, what do you think about the state of black people? They got all these Another question too is why you don't ever take like pictures with black kids? 6'11", 350 pounds, but can't answer one question. Because we are weak. We look strong from the outside, but we this. Nah, mama. That's what we are. Babies. That's what we are. Black Mecca. And I really, you know what's so funny, man? I kind of entertain this. I'm not gonna lie. I looked at a couple of videos of people, black people, really having conversations about this whole Black Mecca thing in Charlotte, and I'm like, yo, must not be really like looking at or paying attention to the shit that I'm paying attention to. Because I'm just trying to understand, if it's a Black Mecca, why is it gentrification going on everywhere? I'm just trying to understand that. Y'all must not see what I'm seeing. Because like when I'm looking at this whole thing of Black Mecca in Charlotte, I'm like, yo, you know they about to take over Johnson C. Smith, right? You know, they already got your whole area. They already got that. They already gentrified that. As when you go up what is it, Trade Street? I think it's Trade Street. When you go up Trade Street or whatever, you know, and then later on it turns into Betty's Ford, if I'm not mistaken. I may be 100% wrong. Please forgive me if I am. And I know y'all are gonna correct me. The Charlotteans are gonna correct me in the comment section of this video. Anyway, if I'm not correct. But like that whole area, man, please. West Boulevard gone. They rezoning and all the rest of that stuff. So I'm just trying to understand this. Please make me understand. How is this a Black Mecca where non-blacks are moving your pieces on the chessboard back and forth? Your pieces, that is, on your chessboard. Because this is what you're saying when you say that Charlotte is a Black Mecca. This is what you mean. It's your chessboard and your chess pieces. Why are there non-blacks moving your shit? I'm trying to understand it. Yo, listen. I don't get on here and rant and boo-hoo and cry and this and that and so forth. It's not that. It's, yo, for some blacks, because you know, there are blacks out here that got common sense, but for others, I want to bring y'all in. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand, why are we calling American cities Black Mecca? Oh, I know why, for real. This is real talk. Throw everything that I just said out of the window. I know why. You just got to work with what you got. You know, like the English language, Anglo-Saxon, you know what I'm saying? That's not our language. But, you know, we got to work with it. So this is the reason why we have Ebonics. We got to jazz it up. We got to put a little bit of salt and pepper and Lawrence seasoning salt in it. We basically, we don't have our own language, so we have to take theirs, borrow theirs, and jazz it up a little bit. Because it was just too bland. Same thing with clothes, you know what I'm saying? We got to jazz it up a little bit. So I guess we're going to have to jazz up the place that we live in and say that it's a Black Mecca, even though we know it's not. We sit here and chastise Latinos, Hispanics, and Asians are people that come from other countries over here, and we say, you need to speak English. I can't understand that. Well, guess what? We should be in that same situation. The reason why we aren't is because we've been assimilated, we've been enslaved, all the above, to break us to the point where now English is our first and last language. Other than that, we're supposed to be just like everybody else that don't really know how to speak language, the English language. Like English language should be our secondary language, not our first one. But this is what we do. Oh, you gonna give us the chitlins and all of the bad shit that you don't want from the pig or from the animal? All of the vegetables that you don't want? Okay, we're gonna take them, we're gonna jazz it up, and we're gonna call that soul food. You know, there used to be a time where, you know what I'm saying, white people used to give black folks, you know, their clothes. No, I'm seriously, like in slavery, whatever. And, you know, black people were more than happy to take hand-me-downs. That's what we're experiencing right now. A hand-me-down life. Instead of building your own Mecca from the ground on up, you'd rather just say, you know what? There's already a place. It ain't gonna treat me too right. I'm gonna experience racism. I'm gonna go through all of this stuff. Man, the job is pretty decent though. I get me a new car. That's what you do. You kind of rationalize. You know, you kind of fight with yourself inside your brain. Like, yo, all of these cons, but look at the pros. And then there's always materialistic shit. I get to drive a better car, live in a better house. And that's when you say, you know what, I'll take the cons. But I just know the pros are gonna cover the cons. And I'm gonna call that area. Being that I could be able to drive a nice car that I could, you know, that I bought, I afford, live in a nice house, even though, you know what I'm saying, you can get pulled over by the cops because they're gonna be like, well, what are you driving this nice car for? You don't belong. You don't look like you should drive a car like that. Or you live in a nice neighborhood and it's, you know what I'm saying, it's not a predominantly black people neighborhood, and you got neighbors, non-black nosy neighbors, calling the cops on you every 5 seconds or something like that. Well, I think he was just talking too loud. He was playing his music too loud. It's always something. That's what we're experiencing in America. A hand-me-down lifestyle. Real talk. Please tell me I'm wrong. That's what it is. So this whole Black Mecca thing, miss me with it. Charlotte is a decent city with a lot of decent people in it, regardless of whether, you know what I'm saying, they're white or black, you know. And I can say that, you know, I've had little to no problems here. But to call Charlotte an American city the Black Mecca. Okay. My name is Mason 2092. Because you black people don't lost your damn mind. My name is Lacy 292. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video.